Draft night looked predictable until one move flipped everything. The Philadelphia Eagles didn't just draft Mackay Lemon, they stole him right before the Pittsburgh Steelers could. Phones were ringing, plans collapsed, and one decision quietly shook multiple franchises at once. But that one pick was only the beginning. At first, it looked like a simple draft move, just another receiver added to the board. But the Philadelphia Eagles didn't just pick Mackay Lemon, they made a statement. This is already a crowded wide receiver room with established names and rising talent, so why add another piece like this? Because Lemon isn't just depth. He's being projected as that gritty, dewy-tall slot weapon, the kind of player who thrives in motion, attacks the middle of the field, and picks up those tough, hidden yards. Think of the impact players teams quietly build offenses around. That's the role people are hinting at here. And that's where things get interesting. When a team invests a first-round pick into a role that already seems filled, it usually means something else is coming. Teams don't just stack talent like this without a plan. Some fans believe this isn't about adding a weapon, it's about preparing for a major shift. Reports and discussions have already started connecting this move to the future of A.J. Brown and whether his time in Philly might be closer to an end than anyone expected. And if that's true, this pick might change the entire direction of the Eagles. What looked like a smart draft pick quickly turned into something much bigger. The Philadelphia Eagles didn't just add Mackay Lemon, they may have just revealed their future plans without saying a word. Because when a team spends a first-round pick on a slot-style receiver in an already stacked room, it usually means change is coming. Analysts immediately started connecting the dots. Lemon fits perfectly into that motion-heavy, middle-of-the-field role seen in modern offenses, the kind of role that becomes essential when a team is quietly reshaping its identity. And that's where the conversation shifted fast. Some reports suggest this move could accelerate trade discussions involving A.J. Brown. Nothing is confirmed, but the timing is hard to ignore. You don't make a move like this unless you're preparing for something bigger. Rumors even hint at potential landing spots, with teams like the Los Angeles Rams being quietly mentioned by analysts as a possible fit if things escalate. If this is true, the Eagles aren't just planning for next season, they're preparing for a completely different offense. And if that domino falls, the entire NFC could shift overnight. What the Dallas Cowboys did on draft night looked simple on the surface, but the deeper you look, the more calculated it feels. Instead of chasing headlines or flashy offensive weapons, Dallas made a clear decision. They were fixing their biggest weakness: defense. They targeted impact players, fast, aggressive, high-motor prospects who can immediately change how this defense plays. Names like Malachi Lawrence started gaining attention not just for talent, but for fit, explosive off-the-line, relentless energy, and the kind of presence this unit has been missing. Add in secondary reinforcements, and suddenly this doesn't look like the same vulnerable defense from last season. What stands out even more is how intentional this approach was. The Cowboys didn't draft out of desperation, they drafted with clarity. Previous moves in free agency and at the trade deadline gave them flexibility, allowing them to go after players they truly believed in instead of reaching for needs. Some analysts are calling this one of the smartest draft strategies Dallas has executed in years. A team that understood exactly what it lacked and actually addressed it. But not everyone is convinced. Because for the Cowboys, talent has never been the real problem. For all the praise the Dallas Cowboys received after the draft, a familiar argument came right back. Because according to critics, we've seen this exact story before and it never ends the way fans expect. On paper, Dallas looks loaded. Every year the roster checks out. Talent across the board, playmakers on offense, upgrades on defense, and yet somehow it keeps falling apart when it matters most. The problem, many believe, has never been ability, it's everything around it. Coaching inconsistencies, locker room distractions, contract situations that linger too long, even decisions from ownership that create unnecessary pressure at the worst possible times. These aren't new issues, they've followed this team for years. Some analysts argue the Cowboys focus too much on winning headlines instead of building stability. Big moves, big reactions, but not always the right timing or chemistry to sustain success deep into the season. And now, even with what looks like a strong draft, that same doubt is creeping back in. Because until Dallas proves otherwise, people will keep expecting history to repeat itself. And that's exactly why one bold claim just shook this entire conversation. Then came the take that flipped everything. One analyst didn't hesitate. He said the Dallas Cowboys could be the best team in the NFC East right now, not eventually, not if things develop right now. And the argument wasn't random. It started with the offense. Last season, this unit wasn't just good, it was borderline unstoppable at times. Even when the defense struggled, the offense kept them in games, carrying momentum through critical stretches. That kind of firepower changes expectations. Now add the offseason moves, defensive upgrades, a healthier roster, a coaching staff that's being described as more aggressive and better aligned. Suddenly, the weaknesses that held them back don't look as glaring anymore. But the entire claim hinges on one massive variable: George Pickens. His situation, his mindset, and whether he fully commits could decide everything. Because if he's locked in, this offense reaches another level entirely. That's why some believe Dallas isn't just improved, they're dangerous. But there's one word that keeps coming up, and it changes everything. Because if that one piece doesn't fall into place, this prediction collapses instantly. Everything comes down to one word: if. The Dallas Cowboys might look complete on paper, but their entire ceiling depends on things going right at the same time. Chemistry, health, and most importantly, the situation around George Pickens. If he's locked in, this offense becomes dangerous. If distractions creep in, everything shifts. And that's the risk Dallas keeps running into: high potential but fragile balance. We've seen this before. The talent is real, but so is the uncertainty. And that uncertainty might be exactly what breaks them again. This isn't just analysis anymore, it's a prediction war. One side believes the Dallas Cowboys are finally contenders, the other is waiting for the collapse. Reputations are on the line now. Because when the season ends, someone's take is going to age very badly.